Good evening. My name is Megan Randall, and today we will be discussing the evaluation of the greater one-horned rhino, Rhinoceros unicornis, its past and current conservation plans. Our researchers presenters for today will be Alyssa Pritchard, myself, Connor Hendrickson, Shelby Thomas, and Harpel Singh. Thank you. Let's begin.
Hello everyone, so we will be discussing the general biology and behavior of our rhino, as well as what the current management plans look like and what the rhinos require to prosper under these plans. So we have the one-horned rhino, or the Indian rhino, Rhinoceros unicornis, which I think is a pretty fun name. It is very closely related to the Javan rhino, Sondaicus, which is the rarest of all rhino species, while the rest of the African rhinos and the Sumatran are in different genera. Currently, the estimated population is 3,600 individuals, and almost entirely concentrated at two national parks, Kaziranga in India and the Royal Chitwan in Nepal. They exist in other protected areas in the region, but these populations are not expected to be as ecologically significant in recovery plans, unfortunately. Thank you.
Hello, and now for some behavior. The one-horned rhino is largely solitary in nature, and the male and female are usually only seen together during the mating season. The home ranges of dominant bulls overlap with one another, mostly within ranges of weaker males that do not attempt to mate, and with ranges of females. Calves stay with their mothers for at least 4 years. Females run around male rhinos making loud sounds and sometimes pushing the male to start mating with them. Mothers try to keep young calves away from males chasing other males when they come close. However, rhinos are not very aggressive in nature. From time to time, rhinos meet with each other in the common ground like grazing areas and wallowing sites, and stay together without showing any aggression. It has been observed in Kaziranga National Park when 32 rhinos were wallowing in a small pool of water and were tolerant of one another. Thank you.
The greater one-horned rhino is a hardy species that can be found in a broad range of habitat types. They require food, water, and shelter to thrive and survive efficiently. Therefore, found in habitats such as tropical and subtropical grasslands, floodplains, and adjacent woodlands that provide them enough vegetation and water to sustain them, and trees and shrubs to protect them from the effects of rain and the sun. The greater one-horned rhino is also semi-aquatic and can inhabit swamps, riversides, and forests, and obtain aquatic plants from in the water when not grazing on the land. Due to habitat degradation from human activities and impacts, these desired habitats have not been the same and are becoming scarce and modified, thus further influencing the overall limited population of the rhino species and preventing the sustainable increase of the greater one-horned rhino population in the future.
Hello. Conservation status of our rhinos. Once threatened and now declared vulnerable, the greater one-horned rhinos were abundant until the 15th century. They were originally distributed throughout the entire northern part of the Indian subcontinent, along the Ganges, Indus, and Brahmaputra river basins from Pakistan to the Myanmar border. Due to indiscriminate habitat destruction and poaching in the 1960s, rhinos suffered a catastrophic decline, resulting in only 100 remaining in Nepal by the late 1960s. In the early 1960s, the western end of Chitwan Valley and south of Rapti River was declared a rhino sanctuary. However, observed poaching still persisted. So to help prevent extinction, in 1973, Chitwan National Park was established, extending 952 k's as of 2017. Today, there are currently around 3,500 one-horned rhinos that live in small, remote, protected areas of northeastern India and the Terai grasslands of Nepal. The greater one-horned rhino was brought back from the brink of extinction thanks to strict management and protection from the Nepalese and Indian wildlife authorities. It is amongst one of the greatest conservation stories of Asia. Thank you. Hello, and for our current management plans of 2020. The Assam Forest Department, in partnership with the International Rhino Foundation and WWF India, supported by the US Fish and Wildlife Service and Bodoland Territorial Council, launched the Indian Rhino Vision in 2020. The aim was to reduce risk to the population and to make sure that the rhinos are spread in several different national parks so that they have enough habitat for population growth. The mission was designed to increase the numbers of rhinos in different parks to 3,000 individuals by 2020, and now the population stands at 3,500 plus individuals. Support has been provided to the rhinos in protected areas, for example, enhanced protection and security such as in Orange National Park. The IRV 2020 has also provided help in infrastructure development and tourism growth, which has increased manpower for Home Guards and other security forces in Manas National Park. Thank you.
Now that we've discussed the management techniques, both like present and past, with the greater one-horned rhinoceros, we're going to look into like the management issues associated with the rhinoceros, which tend to be around the behavioral biology. This comprises of group size and composition, abundance and availability of food, water and minerals in captivity. When rehabilitation and restoration of the species is conducted within captivity, these crucial lifestyle requirements are often unfulfilled. The social organization of the species, the number, age and sex, the population should be very well understood prior to relocating them to an enclosure. The enclosure itself must also meet the spatial and behavioral needs of the rhinoceros, with the minimum outdoor exhibit areas per rhinoceros should be 929 meters squared. Currently, over 200 reside in zoos or parks, so the improvement of replicating their natural environment is vital to sustaining the restoration of their population.
In conclusion, the greater one-horned rhino is a vulnerable species that, due to anthropogenic activities, the numbers are limited. It is detrimental to protect and sustain their species to ensure an increased number in the future. Many past and present management solutions and plans, such as Rhino Conservation Action Plan and the Indian Rhino Vision, are in place to ensure the greater one-horned rhino has a sustainable and protected future. Thank you all for listening.